There is a moment that comes every single night. A moment so quiet, so ordinary, that most people pass through it without ever noticing it exists. You have passed through it thousands of times already. Every night of your life, without exception, it has come for you, waited for you, opened itself to you with complete patience and complete silence. And tomorrow night, it will come again. This moment arrives in the space between waking and sleep. In those slow, soft minutes when the day is finally releasing its grip on you, when your body is growing heavy and warm, when the thoughts in your mind begin to lose their sharp edges and drift like clouds across a dimming sky. Most people in this moment are still carrying the weight of the day, still turning over worries, still replaying conversations that did not go the way they hoped, still scrolling through screens that pour light and noise into a brain that is quietly, desperately trying to settle. And so the last thing their brain receives before sleep takes them is more of what the day already brought. More tension, more unresolved fear, more evidence that the world is uncertain and demanding and hard. But there is another way. A quiet, gentle, scientifically grounded way of using this moment that changes not just how you sleep, but who you are slowly, steadily becoming. A practice so simple it requires nothing from you but willingness. A practice that works not by adding effort to your life, but by bringing intention to the moments when you are already doing nothing at all. It is called seating. And tonight, across the next hour, you are going to understand it fully. Not just as an idea, but as something you feel in your body, something you carry with you into sleep, something your brain will begin working with even before this video ends. So let yourself settle now. Let your weight fall fully into wherever you are resting. Feel the surface beneath you and let it hold you completely. You do not need to do anything. You do not need to maintain focus or take notes or remember every word. Simply allow these words to arrive. Allow them to wash over you the way warm water washes over tired skin. You are already, right now, doing something good for yourself. Let us begin at the very beginning, with your brain, and with something it does every single night that most people never think about. Throughout the hours of your waking day, your brain is operating in a particular state. Scientists measure this state through electrical activity, through the rhythm of waves pulsing through billions of neurons. During your busy, alert, decision-making hours, these waves move quickly. They are called beta waves. Fast, active, charged with the energy of engagement and response. Beta is useful. Beta gets things done. Beta is the state you are in when you are solving problems, navigating conversations, planning and reacting and moving through the demands of ordinary life. But beta is also guarded. There is something in the fully alert, conscious mind that filters what comes in, that evaluates, questions, resists. Your conscious mind, operating in beta, has seen enough disappointment to be cautious, has experienced enough failure to be skeptical. It does not accept change easily. It does not update its beliefs without a great deal of evidence. This is not a flaw. This is protection. Your conscious mind is trying to keep you from being misled, from being changed by every passing influence, from losing the stable sense of self that helps you navigate a complex world. But it also means that trying to change yourself during the ordinary waking hours is like trying to plant seeds in frozen ground. The surface is too hard. The defenses are too active. You can work at it, and sometimes things do take root, but it is slow and effortful and often discouraging. Now imagine what happens when that guard begins to relax. As evening comes, and as your body begins its gentle preparation for sleep, your brain waves start to slow. Beta gives way to alpha. Alpha is softer, more receptive. It is the state of relaxed awareness, of daydreaming, of the quiet mind that is present but not straining. You may recognize it as the feeling you get while taking a slow walk, or sitting near water, or listening to music that you love. A gentle opening, a softening of the edges. And then, as sleep draws closer, alpha gives way to theta. Theta is something very special. Theta waves are slower still, and the state they create is unlike anything else your brain experiences during a normal day. Theta is associated with deep learning, with memory encoding, with the formation and revision of core beliefs, with hypnotic suggestion, with the kind of identity level change that is almost impossible to create through willpower alone. Children spend far more time in theta than adults do. Their brains are continuously cycling through this receptive, open, impressionable state. This is one of the central reasons children learn so effortlessly. Language, behavior, emotional patterns, beliefs about themselves and the world, all of it enters without resistance. All of it gets encoded at the deepest level. All of it shapes who they become. As we grow older, we spend less time in theta during our waking hours. The walls go up, the filters thicken, change becomes harder. But every single night, in those minutes just before sleep finally arrives, you return to theta. Every night, the wall comes down, the filter softens, the frozen ground thaws just a little, and for a few precious minutes, your brain is once again as open as a child's, as receptive as it was in those earliest years when everything was being written into you for the first time. This is the window, and most people pass through it unconscious of what it offers. Tonight, you will not. Breathe slowly for a moment, let that settle. Notice how even the act of learning this, even the simple awareness that this window exists, creates something. A quiet sense of possibility, a gentle shift in how you think about the night ahead, about all the nights ahead. You have been given back something you did not know you had lost. Access to the most receptive state your brain ever enters. Access to the place where who you are being written and rewritten, every single night, without exception. The only question that remains is what gets written there. To understand that question fully, we need to go a little deeper into something that shapes your life more powerfully than almost anything else. Something that operates so quietly, so continuously, so far beneath the surface of your awareness that most people never examine it at all. Your identity. Not the identity you present to the world. Not the name you carry or the role you play or the story you tell at parties. But the deep, interior sense of who you are that runs beneath all of that. The collection of beliefs your subconscious holds about what you are capable of, what you deserve, what is possible for you, how safe the world is, how worthy you are of love and success and peace. This interior identity is not something you chose consciously. It was built over years, layer by layer, through repetition and experience and emotional intensity. Through the things people said to you when you were young and impressionable. Through the conclusions your young mind drew from difficult or confusing experiences. Through the patterns that repeated themselves enough times that your brain decided they must simply be the truth about how things are. And here is the part that changes everything. 95% of what you do each day does not come from your conscious decisions. It comes from this subconscious identity running automatically in the background. Your habits, your emotional reactions, your default moods, the way you respond when things go wrong, whether you reach for what you want or stop just short of it, whether you speak up or stay silent, whether you rest without guilt or carry the weight of everything even into your sleep. All of this is identity. All of this is the subconscious program running quietly beneath the surface of your days. Now, if 95% of your life is flowing from this hidden programming, then changing your life from the surface, through willpower and discipline and conscious effort alone, is like trying to change the output of a program without touching the code. You can push against it. You can temporarily override it. But eventually, the code asserts itself again, and you find yourself back in the familiar pattern, wondering why change is so hard, wondering what is wrong with you, not realizing that nothing is wrong with you at all. You simply have not yet reached the level where the real change happens. The level of identity. And identity changes through two primary forces, repetition and emotional intensity. Tell yourself something often enough, and with enough feeling behind it, and your subconscious begins to accept it as true. This is not wishful thinking. This is neuroplasticity. This is the brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. Adapt to what it repeatedly encounters, especially when that encounter carries emotional weight. And when does this encoding happen most powerfully? During sleep. Sleep is not a passive state. While you are resting, your brain is extraordinarily active. It is sorting through the events and inputs of the day, deciding what to strengthen and what to let fade, consolidating experiences into memory, reinforcing neural pathways that were recently activated, weakening pathways that went unused. And it prioritizes the things that were most recent, most emotionally resonant, most repeated. This means your last thoughts, your last feelings, your last internal experiences before sleep are not just the end of your day. They are the instructions your brain takes into its overnight construction work. They are the seeds that get planted deepest, watered most generously, tended to most carefully by the sleeping brain that has nothing else to do but grow what you gave it. Take a slow, full breath. Feel your chest rise and fall. Feel the weight of your body, heavy and still and completely at rest. There is nowhere to go right now, nothing to do, nowhere else you need to be. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. And the ideas settling into you right now, gently, without effort, without force, are already beginning to take root. You do not need to do anything to make that happen. You simply need to keep listening, keep breathing, keep letting the quietness hold you. So let us talk about seeds. Because this word, seeding, is not just a metaphor. It is a description of a very precise process, and understanding it precisely helps you do it well. A seed is not the plant. It does not look like the plant. It does not feel like the plant. If you had never seen a seed before, you might hold one in your hand and not believe that it could become something so much larger and more complex and more beautiful than itself. You might doubt it. You might set it down and walk away. But the farmer does not doubt the seed. The farmer knows that the seed contains within itself everything it needs to become what it is meant to become. The farmer's job is not to build the plant. The farmer's job is simply to prepare good soil, to plant the seed at the right depth, to water it consistently, and then to trust the process that is already encoded within the seed itself. You are the farmer. Your subconscious mind is the soil. And the intentions, the visions, the identity statements, and the feelings you bring to those final minutes before sleep are the seeds. Your job is not to force transformation. It is not to will yourself into becoming someone new through sheer determination in the dark. It is simply to plant clearly, to plant consistently, and to trust that the remarkable, ancient, incredibly sophisticated process of your sleeping brain will do what it was built to do. Most people, as we have said, plant seeds of stress, not intentionally, not carelessly, but simply because no one ever told them that what they plant matters, and so they plant whatever the day has left in their hands. Worry about tomorrow, regret about yesterday, the residue of conflict and frustration and all the small losses that accumulate over the hours of a human day. And their brain, dutifully and without judgment, strengthens those seeds, builds more pathways for worry, creates more efficient routes to anxiety, deepens the grooves of doubt and self-criticism. Not because anything is wrong with them, but because the soil does not choose. The soil simply grows what it receives. Now imagine choosing differently. Imagine arriving at that threshold moment, that soft, open, theta-approaching space before sleep, carrying something different in your hands. Carrying a clear, calm, emotionally resonant vision of who you are becoming. Carrying a quiet but certain sense of identity. Carrying the feeling, even just a flicker of it, of already being the person you want to be. And imagine your brain receiving that and doing what it always does. Strengthening it, building toward it, encoding it into the neural architecture of who you are. Night after night after night. Seed by seed. This is what we are going to do tonight, and this is what you can do every night from here forward. Let me walk you through it now, slowly and gently, in a way that allows you to actually experience it as we go rather than simply understand it conceptually. The first thing to do, and you may already be doing this simply by listening to something calm and intentional instead of scrolling or stressing, is to remove stimulation, to let the noise stop. Your brain, even after you put down your phone or close your eyes, continues processing the last inputs it received. If those inputs were bright, demanding, emotionally activating, your brain carries that activation into the early minutes of the sleep transition. The theta window is harder to access when the system is still buzzing with the aftershocks of a stimulating screen. But when you choose, even for the last 20 or 30 minutes before sleep, to bring something quieter into your space, something like this, something slow and soft and grounding, your brain begins its natural descent much more smoothly. The transition from beta to alpha to theta happens with greater ease. The window opens wider and stays open longer. You are doing that right now. Simply by choosing this, by being here, by listening to these words in the quietness of your evening, you have already done the first and perhaps most important thing. You have created the conditions for everything else to work. So let your body continue to relax. If you are lying down, let your legs fall gently outward. Let your arms rest at your sides or across your belly. Let your jaw be soft. Let your forehead smooth. There is no expression required right now, no performance, no holding of any shape. Just a body resting, just a mind beginning to open. Now, with your eyes closed or softly unfocused, begin to breathe a little more slowly. Not forced, not dramatic, simply a little slower, a little deeper than your usual automatic breath. Let each exhale carry something with it, some small amount of whatever you are still holding from the day. You do not need to name what you are releasing. You do not need to process or analyze the day right now. That time has passed. The day is done. Whatever happened in it happened, and none of it requires your attention in this moment. This moment belongs to your future self. With each slow exhale, feel the day growing a little more distant, not suppressed or denied, simply set down. The way you set down a bag you have been carrying when you finally reach home. Not because the bag was bad or wrong, but simply because you are home now, and you do not need to carry it anymore. Let the day go. Let it drift back like a tide. And feel what remains when it does. Something quieter, something stiller, something that has been underneath the noise all along, patient and unchanged, waiting for exactly this moment. That stillness is you, the part of you that the day does not reach, the part of you that watches everything without being swept away by any of it, the part of you that is completely, fundamentally, unshakably okay. Rest in that for a moment. There is no hurry. There is an entire hour here, and all of it is yours. From this quieter place, I want you to bring something to mind. A vision, a gentle, unhurried, clear, and calm vision of a version of yourself. Not a fantasy, not a desperate wish, but a genuine, felt sense of who you are in the process of becoming, who you are growing toward, one night at a time, one seed at a time. This person is not someone impossibly different from who you are right now. They are simply a more settled version, a more at ease version, someone who has found their footing a little more firmly, someone who moves through their days with a quality that you recognize and want more of. Maybe this quality is calm, a deep, steady, unshakable calmness that does not disappear when things get difficult. The kind of calm that is not the absence of feeling, but the presence of something beneath all feeling, something stable, something that holds. Maybe it is confidence, not the loud, performed confidence that needs external validation to survive, but a quiet, interior confidence, a simple knowing that you are capable, that you have navigated hard things before and will navigate hard things again, that you do not need the world to tell you that you are enough because something inside you already knows it. Maybe it is clarity, the ability to know what matters to you and to move toward it without being constantly pulled sideways by distraction or doubt or the opinions of others. A clear line between you and your purpose, unobstructed, direct, and clean. Maybe it is simply this, peace. The experience of lying down at the end of a day and feeling, without having to manufacture it, that things are okay, that you are okay, that you have done enough, been enough, given enough, that tomorrow will come and you will meet it, and that is sufficient. Whatever quality speaks most deeply to you right now, hold it gently. Do not chase it. Do not grasp at it. Simply notice which word, which feeling, which vision makes something inside your chest soften a little with recognition. That softening is your signal. That is the seed that wants to be planted tonight. Now let me show you how to speak to yourself in a way that your subconscious actually hears. Most of us, when we try to change ourselves, use the language of wanting. I want to be more confident. I hope to feel calmer. I wish I could be the kind of person who takes action without hesitation. And there is nothing wrong with these statements as observations. They are honest. They name something real. But notice what they also do. They place the desired thing at a distance. They position it as something not yet arrived, something still separate from you, something you are looking at from the outside. And your subconscious, listening carefully to the signal you are sending, hears this distance as the primary truth. It hears, this is not me. This is something other. This is what I lack. And it organizes accordingly. It builds around the lack rather than the presence. The language of identity works differently. Not I want to be calm, but I am someone who carries calmness with them. Not I hope to feel confident, but I am someone who meets challenges from a place of confidence. Not I wish I could take action, but I am someone who does what they say they will do. This is not self-deception. This is not pretending to be something you are not. It is speaking to the part of you that is still being formed, the growing edge of your identity, the place where the old pattern is loosening and the new one has not yet fully solidified. You are not telling your subconscious a lie. You are giving it a direction, a destination, a blueprint. And your subconscious, especially in the theta state of pre-sleep, cannot tell the difference between a deeply felt possibility and an established fact. It takes what you give it and begins building toward it. It begins predicting it. It begins preparing you for it. Speak to yourself now, silently if you like, in the language of identity. Say the words that belong to the seed you are planting tonight. Let them be simple. 2 or 3 words is enough. I am calm. I am capable. I am enough. I am becoming someone who rests. I am someone who moves forward. Say them slowly. Say them with feeling, not strained feeling, not performed feeling. Just the quiet, genuine warmth of someone speaking a true thing to themselves in the dark. And as you say them, notice if you can find even a small sense of what it would feel like if these words were completely, undeniably true. If you already lived inside them. If they were simply the way things are. Do not worry if it feels small or uncertain. A single flicker of genuine feeling is more powerful than 100 repetitions spoken without any feeling at all. The emotional signal is the carrier wave. It is what tells your brain this matters. This is real. This is worth encoding. We have talked about the method. Let us talk now about the science beneath it, because understanding why this works can deepen your trust in it, and trust deepens the emotional resonance, and emotional resonance deepens the encoding. Everything supports everything else when you truly understand it. Your brain is, at its deepest functional level, a prediction machine. This is not a simplification. This is what neuroscience has come to understand as one of the brain's most fundamental operations. At every moment of every day, your brain is generating predictions about what is going to happen next, based on everything it has learned and experienced before. It is constructing a model of reality and using that model to prepare you for whatever it expects is coming. And these predictions are built largely on identity. What your brain believes to be true about who you are shapes every prediction it makes about your experience. If your subconscious identity includes the belief that you are not very good in social situations, your brain will predict social difficulty and will prepare your body for it. It will create the physical sensations of anxiety before you have even walked into the room. It will tighten your chest and quicken your breath and narrow your thinking, not to harm you, but to protect you from what it genuinely believes is coming. If your identity includes the belief that challenges are generally beyond your ability to handle, your brain will predict overwhelm and will prepare you for overwhelm, will organize your perception so that difficulties seem larger and your resources seem smaller, will make the mountain look higher than it is. Not because your brain is against you, but because it is helping you navigate toward what it believes is true. Now imagine what happens when the identity begins to shift. When the belief changes, when the deep subconscious model of who you are begins to include a person who is capable, who is calm, who moves through difficulty with some measure of grace. Your brain begins predicting different experiences. It prepares your body differently. It organizes your perception differently. The mountain does not change, but the person looking at the mountain does. And their resources look bigger. and their capacity looks more real. And something that was impossible begins to look, gradually and then more quickly, entirely possible. This is not magic. This is not positive thinking in the shallow sense of simply deciding to feel good. This is the actual, measurable, neurological process by which human beings change, by which identity evolves, by which the brain physically builds new pathways and allows old ones to fade. Sleep is where this process is most accelerated. Sleep is the overnight construction period, the time when your brain takes the inputs of the day and builds with them, and the inputs that came most recently, most emotionally, and most repeatedly get the most attention. Get built with first. Get reinforced most thoroughly. Those inputs are the seeds you plant before sleep. This is why this practice, simple as it seems, is one of the most powerful things you can do for your own growth. Not because it replaces action. Not because you can simply lie in bed imagining yourself into transformation without ever engaging with the world. But because it creates the internal architecture that makes external action easier, more natural, more sustainable. You act from your identity. Change the identity, and the actions begin to change on their own, not through force, through alignment. Let us rest here for a moment together. There is nothing for you to solve right now, nothing to figure out, nothing to work harder at. The only work happening right now is the work of reception, of stillness, of allowing. Your body is resting, your mind is softening, and quietly in the background, without any effort on your part at all, the ideas that have moved through this hour are settling into you, finding places to land, beginning their slow, patient work. This is how change often happens, not in the dramatic moments of decision or the intense moments of effort, but in the quiet, accumulated moments of stillness, when you stop fighting long enough for something to take root. You are doing that right now. Let me tell you something about the nature of this practice that is easy to overlook and important to understand. Consistency matters more than intensity. You do not need to have a profound experience every night. You do not need to achieve some perfect state of deep visualization or feel overwhelming certainty about your future self. You do not need to lie awake engineering your subconscious with great effort and concentration. The practice is simpler than that, and simpler is better, because simpler is something you will actually do every night, and it is the every night that creates the change. A seed planted once, even with great care, may or may not take root. A seed planted gently and consistently, night after night, in soil that is prepared and receptive will grow. Not might grow, will grow. It is the nature of seeds. It is the nature of soil. It is the nature of your brain. So if some nights the practice feels alive and resonant, and you can feel the emotion of your future self clearly and genuinely, wonderful. Let that richness be what it is. And if some nights the practice feels quiet and simple, and you can barely hold the vision before sleep takes you, that is equally fine. The seed is still going in. The soil is still receiving it. The brain is still doing its overnight work. The only night that does not serve you is the night you skip entirely because you felt you could not do it well enough. The night you let the perfect become the enemy of the present. The night you decided it did not count unless it was vivid and emotional and perfect. Every night counts. The simplest, most half-asleep planting of a single identity seed counts, because repetition is one of the two great forces of subconscious change. And every night you show up, even quietly, even imperfectly, is another repetition. Trust that. There is also something worth saying about the kind of seeds that grow best. You may have noticed, in your own experience, that trying to become everything at once tends to result in becoming nothing in particular. When the list of self-improvements is long and demanding, it creates a kind of internal noise that is itself an obstacle. The mind does not know where to rest. The subconscious does not know which direction to build. One seed, that is the guidance. One clear, simple, emotionally felt identity quality at a time. Not because you can only ever become one thing, but because focus creates depth, and depth creates roots, and roots create stability, and stability creates the platform from which everything else becomes possible. Choose the one quality that, if it were more fully present in you, would change everything else. The quality that is the foundation of the other qualities you seek. For many people, this is calm, because calm enables confidence, and confidence enables action, and action enables growth. For others, it is self-trust, or courage, or the simple belief that they are worthy of the life they want to live. Find that foundational quality. Plant that seed, night after night, until it is no longer a seed but a steady, rooted, living part of who you are, and then plant the next seed. Your future self is not built all at once. It is built the way everything real is built, one layer at a time, one night at a time, one seed at a time. We are moving now toward the end of this hour together, and I want to spend these final minutes not filling them with more information, but simply being here with you in the quietness that is already gathering. Because this is the most important part. Not the explanation, not the science, not even the technique, but this, the actual arriving in the moment, the actual settling into the threshold space, the actual planting. Your body is heavier now than it was when we began. Your thoughts are slower. The distance between you and sleep has narrowed. You can feel, if you pay attention, that theta is not far away, that the open, receptive, deeply listening state of your subconscious is right there, just beneath the surface, just beyond the next slow breath. And so, before sleep comes to take you, let us plant the seed together. Bring your attention gently inward, not with effort, simply a soft turning of your awareness from the outer world to the inner one, from the sounds around you to the quiet space inside your chest. Breathe slowly. Let your belly rise. Let it fall. Let the exhale be complete. Let it empty you out. Let it carry away the last residue of today. And now, from this quiet, open, almost sleeping place, allow the vision of your future self to arise. Not forced, simply invited, like calling softly for something that is already nearby. See them, feel them. This person who carries the quality you most want to grow. This person who is you, just further along, just a little more rooted, a little more whole. They are not standing far away in some distant future. They are here. They are what this night is building you toward. They are what your brain will work on while you sleep. And they are already, in the most real sense, you. Speak to yourself now, gently, in the language of identity. Speak the one true thing that you're planting tonight. Say it as if you mean it, because you do. Say it as if it is already true, because it is becoming true. Say it as if your brain is listening, because it is. It always has been. Feel the warmth of it, the rightness of it, the quiet relief of planting something good, something intentional, something yours in the fertile darkness of this moment. And then let go. Release the practice the way you release a breath, without checking whether it worked, without analyzing or evaluating or doubting, with simple, clean trust. The seed is in the soil now. The overnight work will begin. Your brain knows what to do. It has always known what to do. You have simply, tonight, given it better material to work with. Before you sleep, one final thing. Remember that this window, this quiet, theta-approaching space before sleep, is available to you every single night. Not sometimes. Not when you remember to prepare for it. Every night. It comes for you without being asked. It opens without requiring anything from you at all. And now you know what it is. Now you know what it offers. Now you know how to meet it with intention rather than passing through it unconsciously. This changes every night going forward. Not dramatically, not all at once, but in the accumulated, quiet, unglamorous, completely reliable way that seeds become plants and plants become forests. In the way that who you are is always, always, always being grown, always in process, always capable of becoming more. You are not fixed. You have never been fixed. The brain you carry right now is not the brain you will carry in 6 months if you plant good seeds tonight, and the night after, and the night after that. It is a living thing, a changing thing, a thing that responds to what you give it with fidelity and patience and remarkable capability. Give it something worth growing. Tonight you did. And tomorrow night, and the night after, you will do so again. And one day, not too far from now, You will wake up and notice that something is different, that the quality you have been planting is no longer a seed but something rooted, something real, something that was not there before or perhaps was always there and simply needed tending. And you will know, in the quiet way that the deepest knowing comes, without drama or fanfare, simply as a gentle arrival into truth, that you built this. Night by night, breath by breath, seed by seed, in the silence before sleep. Rest now. Let the words go. Let the day go. Let everything go. There is only this. The weight of your body held completely. The darkness behind your eyes, soft and deep and full of quiet possibility. The slow, unhurried rhythm of your breath, which has been with you since your very first moment and will carry you gently through this night. You have already done something meaningful tonight simply by choosing this, simply by arriving here, simply by letting these ideas move through you and settle somewhere real. The seeds are in. The soil is ready. Sleep now, and let your extraordinary brain do the rest. Good night.